today. I'll give Coach the floor in just a moment, but as a reminder, state your name and your outlet before your question, and let's get underway with Coach.
Thank you, Sloan. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you to the Big Ten. This is such a world-class event, and it really shows the support for women's volleyball in our conference. It's not done by anybody else, and so I think to see the platform that we have as not only Michigan State Spartans, but Big Ten volleyball student athletes and coaches is pretty phenomenal. So thank you, everyone, for being here, and I'm really excited to share our stories and have these two wonderful women share their perspective.
Questions for the Spartans? Lincoln?
Lincoln area Huskers, right? Kristen, yesterday we asked Keegan about what he thought about losing you. His first word was boo. And he said he was happy. What did you learn from Keegan to make you ready for this opportunity you have in front of you and other coaches as well, too?
Yeah, Lincoln, thank you. It really was at Minnesota when it clicked for me. This will be my 10th year coaching in the Big Ten, played in the Big Ten for 4 years, played for a really strong woman in Kathy George who's prepared me. And all of my mentors, right, being at Northwestern for 3 years, my year in club volleyball, right, at BCN with Maggie Griffin taught me so much on the other side of the student athlete experience. But it was during my 2 years at Minnesota with Keegan that, I had that moment of like, okay, not only am I ready for this, because I could have been ready for this at any period, but I want this. And I think mostly I learned from Keegan that you can do this at the highest level and you can do it with integrity. And because that's not something I'm going to compromise. I will not compromise my character and my integrity. And to see him at a place like Minnesota commit to that fully really showed me that this is something I want to do, and I want to change these young women's lives and have them have the same transformational experience that I had as a Spartan, which is really unique.
Those are really strong words from Coach, so I want to ask the players about you guys staying on in this coaching transition and what you've liked so far, the connection that you all have, and just this new chapter with someone who is a former Spartan and cares about the university and your experience there.
Yeah, I stayed with the coaching switch because I just love this school so much and this atmosphere. And when I heard Kristen was coming in, it was a full circle moment for both of us because I was doing camps when I was just a kid as a Michigan native with Kathy, and Kristen was there watching, recruiting me, and so to have her back as my head coach, it just really is surreal, and we are so lucky because she brings such a family atmosphere with her passion and her dedication to the school already, and she just brought that in with all the new players and the coaching staff and really just made everyone feel so at home right away with her love for this place.
Thanks, Evie.
Yeah, adding to that, I think having her back as alumni is a great feeling. She left a legacy, a big legacy here, and she's a great person on and off the court. I think also to be able to see her like outside of the court, like in her office when we are talking, that I can tell her everything. Like, she's a great supporter. Yeah.
Thanks.
Coach, you are, sorry, Lee, go ahead. Just quickly for Coach, you are one of 3 new head coaches in the Big Ten this year, but what is the impact of having so much familiarity when you are stepping into a new role where it's not a new program to you?
It's really been maybe one of my favorite parts of this process is that I get to stay in the conference that I know, right? I'm biased. The Big Ten is the best conference in the country, and it's the only volleyball conference I've played or coached in, right? What a privilege that is for me. So to have so much familiarity within the conference, not only with the coaches, right, that either recruited me or I've played against Dave Shondell for 15 years, to then the players, right? I've recruited so many athletes in this conference, have relationships. But then you go more macro into Michigan State, right? And to have so many people in the athletic department who were there when I was a player or as a coach who are still there and have made this transition back home be really unique and really full circle. I've been looking for a adjective to describe it, and full circle is the best way for it to be that these people there who know me and have watched me grow up and continue in this career, now to be back a head coach, who are now here to support me and walk this journey with me as head coach. Just so much gratitude for the people.
Lee Feinswag from 900 Square Feet. Kristen, Keegan didn't even replace you as a coach. You got a general manager. No, but seriously, you and he must have talked about that kind of move for the future for both his program and yours. What are you doing to navigate the new world in this job?
In what way?
NIL, NCAA agreement,
Yeah.
paying players, getting more foreign players, transfer portal.
Yeah,
Next half hour, but.
I'm grateful for the experience that I had under Keegan at Minnesota, because what he hired, right, in a GM, that's what him and I were doing. Especially the last 6 months to a year in my time in Minneapolis, we were navigating revenue sharing, navigating NIL, raising NIL. Right, when we walked in, that was a big part of transforming that experience when we started. And so he gave me a lot of autonomy, and we worked really closely together in how to navigate that. So when I was going through the hiring process at Michigan State, it was not only do I know what this is, but I've done this, right? We've already written the contract, so I have a lot of experience with this going into that role. And that's a testament to Keegan for allowing me inside that world with him during my time at Minnesota.
Coach, we remember Julia Bishop as a setter last season, but she's joining your staff. And I know from doing games of hers, she is obsessed with Michigan State. Her entire life has always loved the Spartans. Talk about her addition, staying with the program, and will she also wear her sweatband on the sideline?
Julia Bishop is a Spartan through and through. I mean, there's people in this world that bleed green. You cut them open. I would have argued that was me, and then I got to work with Julia Bishop. And what a testament to hard work, right? What a testament to love for the place that you're at and pride in her school. And so when she came to me this spring, she was kind of a student manager for us about being RGA. It was honestly a no-brainer. And she, mind you, she had gotten calls from other Division I schools about being a full-time assistant coach. And I'll never forget, she sat across to me in my office and said, I want to be here, and I want to be with you, and I want to leave this place better than I found it. And we both cried, and it was one of those, okay, like, join us on this journey. And I don't know how long I'll get to keep her, because she's going to be an incredible coach. She already is, but she's going to do anything she sets her mind to. But so grateful to have her on my staff in my first year.
And for the players, too, to see her in this different role, someone who you played with, and the kind of leader she was as a setter, too, as she looks toward a coaching career.
Yeah, she was a phenomenal captain, a phenomenal leader on our team. We had the joy of having her as a captain for 3 years, and it was so natural for her to step into that role. She was born to be a coach, and she just has a way with her words and her relationships with us that it was just a very, very smooth transition, and we love that we got to keep her.
I think adding into that, it's also having us an assistant, as an assistant right now. It's a great opportunity for us to hear her advice as before she was a player. So the advices that she was giving us, it's like they are, it's different when the coach is giving you a feedback and when a player is giving you a feedback. So it's been great working with her.
Because with Julia gone now, someone else has to set. Cameron's back. You have 2 more newcomers. How do you assess where that position is heading into the fall?
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of position battles this fall, which I'm really excited about here in a couple of days, right? So, Julia was a true rock of the team and of the program, and losing her and Nalani, right, were our first and second contact. So knowing that was something I was going to have to complement and replace on our team really early. We brought in Malaya Long, and we brought in Kalia Norton, who's here, came in January. We also brought in 2 DS Libero transfers, and Sarah Vellucci and Leah. And so we're excited to see them in the gym, right, as transfers who moved in January. I haven't even seen them play live, yet. But they know that we're going to have some big position battles this fall camp, and it's going to be exciting to see.
Did you know Julio when she was at Wisconsin, and did that have any influence on you coming to America and playing?
Yes, to be honest. Yeah, we are friends. So I saw her play in the first year in Wisconsin. We were teammates back in Poland. We played for 3 years together. So also coming here was a decision that I made because of her. She was a part of it. She helped me also throughout the whole process. I asked her some questions. She was really helpful.
Coach, I want to ask you about these 2 returners that you brought here to Media Days, and how you're leaning on some of your returners in this new role for you, and where each of their respective games you feel like can make a stride under you in this coming season.
Yeah, it was really put me at ease, right, when I walked in the door on day 1 and knew we had returners like Zuzanna and Evie on our roster, right? People who know the league, people who've had great success in the league. Evie, who's played every position but setter at this point, and getting her back on the pin in our offensive system. And then Zuza, just her blocking ability, and I think is oftentimes overlooks her offensive production that she'll have with us in our offense this fall. So having these 2 rocks for us was really important. And then really seeing when I walked in, okay, what are the strengths of this team? What are our weaknesses, and how do I complement that? And you'll see that with the additions to our roster, as we really tried to complement the team we had, not just replace, right? We brought in pieces that made sense to who we lost and where we had holes in our roster, because I want everyone to have a role, right? I want everyone to have an opportunity to make an impact. And I wanted to make sure the athletes that we joined to this program, our staff and our athletes, we just got out of a big people phase of our program, hiring staff, bringing in players, that everyone had an opportunity to make an impact, and that everyone was going to bring value in some way.
For you 2, where do you feel like you want your game to grow, and just coming off last year and under a brand new head coach at that?
I would say the place I want my game to grow is my consistency emotionally on the court. In the past, I feel like not being as much of a standout leader. We had our 2 captains that were the rock, and I felt like I could vary a bit more in my emotion, but this year, stepping into a bigger leadership role, I want to stay as consistent as possible so that my teammates can always, rely on me even when I'm not having my best game, and that they can still feel comfortable and have faith in me that I'll get the job done.
About me, I think I wanted to be, as a player, more versatile. And I want to add some, in my offense, some attacking in a behind the setter. Also, I think as now an upperclassmate, I want to, and being here for 2 years, I just want to show my teammates that how great it can be on the court, and I think, yeah.
Questions for the Spartans, or including our student journalists? We got one over here.
My name is Renee Phillips. I'm coming from Newton Bronson, and my question is, what do you like doing when you're not playing volleyball?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah. Our team, a lot we have a big yard out by our apartment, and we all live together, and so we'll go out and like play spike ball, and we'll throw the football around, and we just like to spend time outside together, especially this summer before it gets cold in Michigan.
It never gets cold in Michigan.
No, right, yeah, never.
Any cold weather activities? Or
I'd say inside I like to cook.
Did you guys go ice skating last spring?
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We'll sometimes go ice skating, yeah.
Lincoln, and then front row here.
Kristen, your first 3 Big Ten games at Minnesota, home against Michigan, at Northwestern. I imagine that would be an emotional journey. You'd rather just have those 3 games, get those out of the way?
Just knock them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, and the weekend before that, we play at Jenison. So we're hosting our alumni weekend in Jenison Fieldhouse, which is special in a lot of ways. We get to honor the 1975 team, right? We get to honor our 1995 Final Four team. We get to bring back many of my teammates and those who came before us. Then I get to go back to the PAV, right, with my family, my Minnesota family. Then our rival at home with Breslin, which we know is going to be buzzing, right? Breslin's going to be hopping. And then to Northwestern, which is another former, I love my time in Northwestern. I'm from Chicago. And so I think part of it, Lincoln, is I have almost every school has some sort of memory, right? Every school has some sort of relationship. And I lean into that because it's what makes this opportunity so special, right? Is the relationship piece. And they know this now, but it's my why, right? The mentoring and relationship piece. And to have these memories and to have these relationships at every place across the country is really special, and I don't take that for granted. But yeah, those first couple weeks are going to be a warm welcome.
Did you coach her there at Northwestern?
I didn't. She went with Team USA, and then I got hired. And we actually coached against each other at Michigan. Aaron and I went to the same high school. So Aaron is someone I have admired and looked up to for a very long time.
What high school?
Wheaton St. Francis.
Right here in front. Other way.
John Seppi, Journal Sentinel. For Kristen, you've been at the 3 different schools in the Big Ten. Kind of what stood out to you about kind of the depth of this league, and how have you seen that kind of change over time?
This league has always been incredibly deep. I mean, even I'm older now, right? So back when I played, right, we were still getting 8, 9 teams in the tournament. And so from top to bottom, right, you have that top tier that is legit competing for a national championship, right, with half the Big Ten teams, with Katie and the Penn State winning it all last year. And then you have this middle tier that is as good as a lot of other conferences' top group, and they're fighting for the tournament. And then you have that next tier, right, that's working so hard to make the jump. And then you add Washington and Oregon and UCLA and USC. And so where I'd love to see this go is that we get 10, 12 teams in the NCAA tournament. I mean, the Big Ten is clearly deep enough and has the tradition and the success to do that. And it's also the growth of women's volleyball. That's, I think, been the biggest change from when I was in their shoes to where we are now, is the amount of matches played on BTN, right? The amount of matches played on NBC and CBS and nationally. I mean, Nebraska's selling out a football stadium, right? Having 2, 3 pro leagues on our home soil. It's just a tremendous time to be a women's volleyball player and to be a women athlete, right? Like in our nation, in our sport. And so that's probably been the biggest change. The Big Ten has stayed, right, this premier conference, but now our platform is even bigger than it's ever been.
All right, I think we're just about out of time here for the Spartans. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.